consistency. It's all about M. 2015. We're not here to hoard or to keep it tight. Our community's generous, and that's dynamite. In the world of crypto, where greed can reign, Mitecoin's different. It's not the same. Every transaction, we're chasing a dream. Mitecoin's the future. It's not just a meme.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Saturday night, 9 o'clock, Mitecoin Match'em. As always, I know I do this every week, but it's stressful every week, and a little bit more stress tonight. So as I stall a little bit, who can be the first one to let me know if you can hear me or whether I should start panicking? I think of it like the Little League baseball kids that are, thank you, Skylar, like the little kid baseball that gets already a little bit afraid of standing in the batter's box, and then the pitch comes in and he takes one right to the side of the rib cage, and that poor kid will never forget that. So that's where my stress comes from. So anyway, welcome, and as always, we're going to talk about some numbers. This is not financial advice. We're here to have some fun, build a fellowship, get to know one another a little bit better, and learn about God if possible as well, which is a good thing. But this is not financial advice. Okay, do your own research. With that said, and as most of you know, it's a good problem to have. But you're going to notice something as we jump into our Solana showdown, unless this completely changes, and it didn't. So as you guys will see, 150 enter, and yeah, the highest prediction was 146.71. That's obviously out of the ballpark, so that's good news, bad news, right? That means we have no winner tonight, so no $40 of Mitecoin going out. The good news is that's because Solana's recovering very nicely. And that also means that we will add, or I will add, another $20 to the next Solana showdown, and we will keep on trucking. But so that leads us into the numbers. It's a nice little segue each week. Helps to remind me to let you guys know overall how we're doing. And yeah, Solana's obviously looking very good. Just for you guys that maybe put it out of your memory, last time we got together last Saturday night, Solana was under $137. It was 136.93 on my paper, and I had it, when I get the numbers, it was 150.83. So that's over 10% increase. And I know that, I guess I've said it a lot, but that's one of the exciting things about, I guess, any meme coin, but hopefully what we're doing as well. And I'm going to talk about that later with the M2015. But it's kind of cool that by just playing this little game, it's also a way to get in on that 10% increase in Solana. So that went up over 10%. Mitecoin to Solana price didn't keep up with that pace, but it's up 2.5%. That means that our market cap as a project went up over 13% in the last week. So that's finally some good news, green across the board. And I love to obviously report that. I think last week I started telling you guys a little bit about, or I reminded everybody just about the amount of coins that had been sent back into the community. And I think I said last week, I just tossed the last paper, but I think I said it was around $4,700. And it was down, but I remember thinking $4,700 isn't too shabby. And so the reason I bring that up is because I look at it right here on my paper. I just don't always remember to tell you guys about it. But that's up to over $5,300 now. So that's a combination, obviously, of a large portion of that is the fact that Solana's recovering. But I guess that just highlights. I want to use that and tell you guys how that highlights kind of what we're doing and adds a little bit of spice and fun to it, I think. But anyway, so yeah, that's the total amount that's gone out. To jump in case you're telling, of course, everybody that you talk to because you're so excited. 300,000 Mitecoin currently will set somebody back. Hold your breath. $4.39. Okay. One time, right? So just think of how many times you can remind people how many times they blow $5 bill doing some crazy stuff. And so now it's a perfect segue again. I feel like I'm finally putting this professionally prepared because that does lead us into what you can tell them about. So right there, this is the results of our M2015 for the number 40 winner Karen. So the 675,000 from me, that's because of the rollover and she was watching. There was 5 blessings that came in at almost 800,000. And so, it's almost 1.5 million coins. And it comes to, on my little spreadsheet here, $21.51 worth. Okay. And you're like, ooh, yeehaw. But I guess I would be like, dude, $20 of a coin that's tied to Solana for just playing around isn't too shabby. But, and that's probably why I've got some bad news. Habib, you remember Habib? He was one of the marketers that, I just said that, people can get rid of $5 on a lot of silly stuff. And I do believe that, and I live by my word. So when Habib reached out over and over, I said, hey, listen, bruh, I will pay your way in. I said, and I know you can sell it right away. I know that. And so anyway, he hung around. He actually took a guess at Luca's baby weight even. I thought maybe he was OG legit. But earlier this morning, he sold off and he's, I think he might still be in the room. And the bot will kick him out soon. But old Habib took the money and ran, right? And I get it, right? He's like, dude, some sucker on the internet sent me $5 and of course I'm going to do it. I'm kind of shocked he didn't do it right away. But the reason I think of poor Habib is, literally it's like, again, that could have been $20 to him, right? And I would hope maybe, now I wouldn't recommend it, but, if we can get some of those people that are more into the crypto scene, just to, I hope that I can just give them a little nibble, right? And they'll see that there's actually something kind of fun to do. But Habib, that wasn't him. But I guess when I see that $21, that Karen got sent to her wallet, now it's $60 for next week for Solana Showdown, right? I guess for me, the exciting part is what could that be? I remember, I'd have to go back and maybe I'll do that for next stream. I remember when the dollar amount of the Mitecoin that had been sent out was in the tens of thousands of dollars, right? That was obviously when we were at our all-time high last July. But there's no reason that, it might be slower, but, anyway, rambling. But those are the numbers. I want to thank everybody that shared some of their blessings with Karen. I know that, I know that you might be angry because she keeps winning, just teasing. But I hope that, the reality is that, and I guess this is where I get to be a Debbie Downer. Eventually, the amount out of my wallet that I set up at the beginning will be out. And if this concept doesn't take off, if we can't find people that are like-minded and plug in and again, $1 or whatever, then eventually it might look a little different. And so that's really what my hope is that as we get more active people that can kind of see what fun it could be. And eventually you get enough people and it could really, really be significant, I think. And just crazy blessing. So, And now I'm going to have to put somebody on probation for not silencing their phone. Just teasing. So anyway, I do appreciate all of you that shared, sent those blessings to Karen. I know it's crazy, and that you have absolutely no reason to do it. But I do appreciate it, and I hope you win. I hope you win tonight. With that said, I got bad news. I hope you're sitting down. I'm gonna show the screen. And I mix it up a little bit. The same concept, though. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah, there's a lot of poop. And I was going through, I go through the screens. I think I've said that. And there's some that are all red way early. Like, it's going to get ugly. So you guys got your work cut out for you. So I will start our poll number 1. Round 1 vote, and we'll go 1 or 2, and we'll start that poll. So there's the poll. Yeah. So sometime yesterday, Habib reached out and he said, "Hey, I've got 2 friends that want to get in Mitecoin. Can you help them with the buy-in?" And I was like, "Bruh," right? And so I just said, "You know what? I don't know. You haven't really been around and participating, but have them contact me." So in the middle of the night, he sent me their username. They didn't send anything, and I guess because I was sleeping, he thought maybe I was onto him or something, and he sold out by golly right away. So I think I scared Habib off. So anyway, that's story Habib. We're gonna end our poll, and we're gonna find out only 5 of us. That's okay. I appreciate you guys that are here and that you voted number 2 the winner. I'm glad that it's not a tie. I don't even really know which one to hope for. I'm guessing red because black has a lot more poop. The winning card tonight is black because red is over there. So now you guys have your work cut out for you big time. We're going to mix these up. Push 2 up there. Slide 1 under. Slide 1 under. And let me, I didn't even take it off because that was obviously the one from last week. I think Queen of Clubs. So start a poll, and we will do round 2 vote, and 1, 2, start your poll. Yeah, that spades is ugly. So cast your vote. See if we can somehow, some way pull out a winner. My goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I guess it's even. At least right now it's 50-50 shot. 13-13. Cast your vote. And it looks like we gained a couple voters. I appreciate that, everybody. Number 2 is the winner, 71%. And we're going to find out if this is spades or club. Winning card tonight is clubs. Because spades are over there. So you guys know the routine. And mix these up. Slide 1 under there. And 1 under there. And now we know. Oh my goodness. This is right now this is the exact same order because I forgot to in my stressful preparation, I forgot to take off last week's, and they are all good. Round 3 vote. Oh my, I just remembered something. Start the poll. I think Karen chose the same one, Queen of Clubs. That would be ridiculous. I actually was thinking about when she did that. I think Willie might have done that before as well. I literally have thought about adding a special, like, I like competitions, a little special prize if the same card wins 2 weeks in a row, and that would be bananas if it did. So anyway, cast your vote. Round 3, we got to find if it's a high club or a low club, and we are going to exit. And we have a situation brewing. Number one is the winner finally, 57%. We're going to find out if it's a high or a low club. Low would look crazy good. High would be bananas. The winning card tonight is low. So that takes care of the defending champ because high is over there. And now things look a whole lot better. We're going to mix this up. We're going to slide one under there and one under there. And that means that I do have to find a low club. And look at this. That ended up changing quickly. And we're going to start the poll. Round 4 vote. And we have a 1 and a 2. And let's find out. This is good. Just real quick, obviously, if you're watching and you see your name up there, drop a chat so that you can lock in your 75,000 Mitecoin bonus for watching. Obviously, I know I see some of you guys already have. I just want to remind everybody that if you want your bonus, you gotta show up and say hey. So don't forget. Okay, let's end it. And the winning number on round 4 is number 2. Went back to number 2, 71%. Now we have to find out if it's odd or even. Obviously, if it's odd, we've got ourselves a guaranteed winner. If it's even, oh my goodness, I just realized Karen is still waiting over there as well. Are you kidding me right now? Okay, the winning card tonight is even. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? Because odd is right there. And that means that we're going to put these back here. And I will go find the final low even club. Low even club. Throw that over. I will reach over and grab the low even clubs. That's a 2, 4, 6. We're going to mix them up. Get these elimination cards out of the way. We're going to put that one, and we're going to put that one, and we're going to put that one. They're loaded. And now, make sure those go up. And then I will get this final vote going. Start a poll. Final vote. 1, a 2, a 3. Start it. I wish I could get in on poker. Yeah, you need to fix that. I don't think you've been around since Willie's been out. I don't think. Yeah, she's kind of got booted. She might have done some, fake identity at the beginning so that they don't have your real birth date. And then, as the saying goes, when you start one fib, you gotta remember it enough to keep it going. And then it turns out when you forget your password and they ask what your birth date is, you don't remember what you told them. So that's awkward. I'm just saying that might have happened. Anyway, so cast your vote 1, 2, or 3 for 2, 4, or 6, obviously in any random order, and let's find out. You guys decided that tonight, choose your friend. Again, 71%. So obviously, as always, we do elimination by who's the biggest loser, and it's a tie, 1 and 3. So then, as always, we start from the smallest and go over. So here is the biggest loser, or really tied for the biggest loser. But the bottom line is you do not want this to be your card. We kind of want it to be a 2. If it's a 2, then we're guaranteed a winner. If it's the other ones, then yeah. Here we go. The first loser tonight is the 6. That means, Karen, I hate to say it, but you are not a 2-time champ, or I guess a repeating champ. You have been eliminated because Yeah, six. I just want to double check. So there's six clubs. So that means that this is right here the winner. I don't think I've seen Ray on. She's going to be sad. And if this is a big deal. If this is a 2, we got a rollover. That's obviously you guys that are all watching right now can immediately jump on and get a card. If it's a 4, we've got ourselves a winner. And I think she's new and she might be a first-time winner. So the winning card tonight is... you guys, because the 4 is over there. That means that it is a rollover. And yeah, but that's, here's the good and the bad, right? Good and the bad. You guys have a chance to get rid of that, right? Go jump on and get rid of some of those red yucky things and help us out. So I thank you for obviously watching. But now here comes the question. I'll just kind of sidebar a little bit. Unfortunately, this crazy like fellowship deal or this question thing has kind of stuck in my brain because as I'm doing my reading and things, I've got a little notebook that I think to myself, oh, that would be a good question. So I'm starting to create a list. So even if this whole thing crashes and burns, again, you could come in and try to get $20, right? Stay in the Telegram group, and even if you don't pick a card, just try to get the $20 from the Solana Showdown. And so if that keeps you coming back, I'm going to keep thinking of questions that I want you to chew on. And yeah, I like it. I was kind of excited as I start making my list because I just like that my brain's thinking of that stuff. And so what is it tonight? Well, I will tell you that I'm still finishing Deuteronomy. And here's the deal. Moses tells Joseph that after they get into the promised land, every 7 years, they're supposed to bring everybody back and they're just going to like read over everything that God has done, right? What he expects, what he did for them. And then, they go about their life. And then every 7 years, you just kind of come back and you get grounded. And then that made me think at the end of the Bible, Jesus says to a church that they abandoned the love they had at first. That just popped into my brain today as I was thinking of this question. And so my question to you is, what is something that, those of you that are on Telegram, I kind of put a silly picture up. Everybody I think knows that my wife and I do a daycare, and my wife was doing a project with Elmer's glue, and it's kind of like watermelon, and you got to get salt. When you see Elmer's glue, you have to put it on your hand and let it dry, right? I think every normal person should do that. And I was reminded of like childhood days, right? Because that was literally, why wouldn't you not do that, right? And then that was right around the same time I'm reading that verse about every 7 years. And it just got me thinking, like, what is something that you used to do that you would like, when you think back on it, you're like, I love doing that. I don't know what it is. Could be anything, right? Hobby or something, probably some sort of hobby I'm thinking, at least in my head, but it could be anything. And then you like think about it and you're like, I don't do that at all anymore. And then my next question is like, why did you stop? And I'm wondering if I'm just curious, right? And that's kind of I'm curious to have you share. I've got something that immediately came into my mind that I'll share. But I'm curious to know, will you guys say that there was like, this is the reason why I stopped? Or as you think about it, you'll be like, I do love it. I love doing it whenever we did it or whenever I did it. And I don't really know why I just stopped doing it. I don't want to give away like my answer, but anyway, that's where I'm at. And I love to learn more about you. I want you guys to chew on those things. And part of the reason of that is, I was talking to a real good friend this week, and he's going through some stuff and relationship, all this stuff is going around. And that is sometimes the most important time to like remember the stuff from the beginning. Don't don't. One, I'll close it with this before we go to prayer. I was nerding out on another theology video, deep diving into the weeds on a very difficult topic. And before they even started kind of sharing what their opinion was, this one of the guys kind of shared his approach to how he views the Bible and like stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of try to repeat exactly how he said it, so that I think I'll do an okay job so you understand what he's saying. He says that him and his wife have been married for I think 13 years. He's a younger guy, not an old toot like me, right? Christian man. They do a YouTube video. They got kids, and he loves anime. It's like I think some Japanese animated. It's a genre of animation. One of the other hosts or one of the other people on the channel did as well. And he said, and as he's talked about like the approach that he has with the Bible in general, he said that he was downstairs in his TV room watching anime on his big screen, and literally his wife comes down to ask him something, and out of like 400 hours of video of anime, there's the entire series. I'm just repeating what he said, right? There's one scene where this character is in bed with a girl. And he ends up saying that it was because he was going into battle and he thought he was going to die, blah, blah, blah. But so the point of the story is that literally when his wife comes around the corner, that's what's on the screen. And he said, freeze. Now, what's his wife's response, right? What are the options of her responding? One option is, and this, I don't want to say this is a woman thing. This is just the story he told. It could be either way. One response could be, what in the world, right? What in the world are you doing? And go down that road quickly, possibly. But he said, instead, what my wife did was, in the totality of the relationship, right? They've been married, devoted to one another for 13 years, a strong family, whatever. And in that totality of the relationship, she kind of realized there's probably something odd about this, right? And so, and I know that's maybe a long story, but I guess that is what I want. I hope that my friend would realize in all of our relationships, right? Now, I'm not saying that there isn't stuff, but just in relationships and the way we view the Bible, make sure that we are considering like the entire thing as a whole. That doesn't mean to discount everything or anything, but just make sure that it's not that you don't give something more power than it deserves or more influence than it deserves, right? So anyway, that's enough about that. I kind of went on that rabbit trail. Didn't mean to go all the way there. But so back to the question, what is something that, I know that you guys aren't as old as me, but what is something that you used to do that you absolutely love, and that you don't do anymore? And I'm just curious to know what that is and why you stopped. And that's the question of the week. If you jump on Telegram and you share your answer, guess what? You get to help get rid of that yucky, stinky stuff. And it's another rollover. So that means that next week it's up to 600,000 coins, plus a bonus if you're watching. So it could be another $20 or so. And that's not even saying what Solana does. So, all right. Thanks for letting me mumble and ramble on. I'm going to pray us out. And I want to pray a blessing and a covering over all of you. And I just appreciate you giving me some of your Saturday night. All right. Father God, I just come to you right now, and I just thank you for this opportunity. I pray that I would represent you well. I pray this project would represent you well. And I just pray, Lord, that anybody that does not know you, that they might think of you and be drawn to you. And Lord God, those of us that walk with you, I pray that we would be encouraged and committed to you, and that you might have control of our lives. I just pray your covering and your protection over this project and those that are listening right now. I pray that you might draw close to them, that they might feel your presence, and that you would just touch them wherever they're at. I pray that their bodies, that if they need a touch from you, a healing or a strengthening, Lord, I just pray that you might send that to them and that they might believe you for it. And those of you that don't know, those that don't know you, Lord, I just pray that you would protect them and make yourself known to them as well, whether that be something that they might be going to the doctor for, Lord. I just pray that they might lift that up to you and that you might make yourself known through that. In relationships, Lord, as you know that is significant, and I just pray that your hand would be upon all of us that are in relationship in any way, that you would help us to focus on all of your promises and to imitate you the very best we can. And I just pray that you would restore what can be restored and build up and make stronger what needs to be built up, Lord. And I just pray that you would make yourself known in these families and in these relationships, and that they would all draw close to you. And I just pray, Lord God, for our finances, for our jobs and our vehicles and just our day-to-day worldly stuff. I just pray that you might protect us from things that might harm us, and that we would be drawn to you, and that we would be more like you every day. I just thank you for this time. I just pray your blessing upon all of us. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. All right, everybody. Thanks for letting me mumble jumble. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm excited because I'm getting questions, thinking about you guys as I'm reading, and I just want to hear. I'd love to hear what you got. So I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.